allow the two children to attend the budget every year.
It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay.
Off your mind.
Like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go sama us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my yegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my yegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my yegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. My yegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. My yegun don't come, oh yo yo. Mayegun la wa mo la mo dododo. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun la wa mo la mo dododo. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré, wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun diary, diary politico. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn
Dear brethren, so good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. It is Mayegun live. Thank you so much once again for tuning in. But remember, after reading the caption of the broadcast, read the description of the broadcast as well. Takes a minute, okay? So that gives you like an insight into what we are going to be talking about, right? Then share the broadcast after liking the broadcast, just to mark your presence here. So thank you so much to those of you who have done that. Now, as they are marching, or should we say as we are marching towards their 2027 elections in Nigeria, and all the political development that have been like happening, and why 2026 is like everybody now will drop the veil, the pretense, and they begin to do what they call the alignment. So they begin to align, sort themselves into probably two prominent groups, right? The one for Tifnumbu, the APC, and then others, however they plan to take it, okay? But to the Tifnumbu's men, their own job is not going to be on the election day or what have you. Their own kind of a groundwork is to have been able to predetermine the end, the end result before the election day or so. So part of their own strategy, which is already playing out so far, is one, neutralize the opposition as much as possible, and then, begin to poach the supposed opposition state governors, which they have succeeded. And that in itself seems to have been creating its own different scenario, okay? And one of them is this of Kano State. So in 2023, Kwankwaso, who is the leader of the supposed Kwankwansias in Kano, formed his own, should I say, kind of merged with a political party called ANPP, and he automatically became their leader, the leader of the ANPP. Sorry, one sec. I need to take something out. Yeah. Sorry about that, just in case if... Very sorry about that, by the way, because I've not been reading the comments. And I want to make sure that we are not having any sort of like echoey, conversation. So Kwankwaso ran for president, and at the same time, he presented a governorship candidate in Kano. Meanwhile, for those who know the politics of Kano very well, Kwankwaso, since 1999, right? McCarthy, Kwankwaso, and the rest of them like that. So you will remember that the Babariga mobile banking CEO of Kano, and that is Gandola. Gandola was once Kwankwaso's deputy, by the way. And then, yeah, politically, they are on the opposite side. So Kwankwaso, right, believes that if, for anything, right, APC, because of this Gandola, should never be allowed to take over Kano. Now, on that sort of like a mandate, he met with Kolu, whatever the offer was, speculations, right? So when Kwankwaso met with Kolu, it was presented the same offer. Why don't you bring your governor to APC and then name your price? So part of what he was allegedly to have asked from Kolu at the time was that he would love to become the APC chairman if they are going to remove a Gandola. Anyway, that didn't work out. In the process, their governor in Kano himself is also being poached by these guys. They're like wrapping him up to say 2027 election is not going to be just about votes. It is going to be decided by, and it doesn't really matter. He's very much interested in some certain states, including Kano. So Kwankwaso can save you. So they were hearing the rumors that, APC was about to take their governor. So they started making different threats. including the ones that seem to have been, the one that finally confirmed it on the 3rd of January, when Kwankwaso told his followers that indeed he never believed that his own governor would actually accept Tinubu's deal, right? However, it seems like it's a done deal. So they would have to do whatever they can, right, to ensure that APC does not take Kano. Now, the backstory to all of this is what you are now about to get into. So the rumor is no longer rumors. It is actually now real. Kwankwaso and his own people, right, are enraged because if you have been following the Kano politics, right, this one seemed like a kick in the gut. So Kwankwaso, so they anticipate there could be violence. So because of this, in Kano today, Tinubu's government, of course, have provided the security to protect the government house in Kano. Because in the next few days, this is going to happen. Kano State is going to become APC. And when Kwankwaso was talking to his supporters in January, one of his regrets was that he never believed Abba Yusuf, right, would actually really dump them for APC. Meanwhile, Abba Yusuf himself was kind of like telling his own supporters that everywhere Kwankwaso goes, he's always telling everybody how he controls him, he decides what happened in Kano State and all of that by belittling him. Okay, so internal Godfather's strife. So let's start with that. I decided to kind of break it down that way because most of us who don't understand Hausa, you needed that. Okay, so let's start with what Kwankwaso told his own supporters until today. The tension seemed to have kind of like arisen more. First, he said they fought tooth and nail to prevent Gandola from, controlling Kano politics, right? And that is something that Abba Yusuf has kind of like willingly handed over to Tinubu. How did that happen? We'll find out.
Yara suna can faɗan maganganu suna ziga sun ɗauki layi irin wancan kuma fiye da wani abinda muke so na nake so gaya muku ku je ku ci gaba da kamar da kuke karantawa ne wani karanta gobe ne ko ran litinin za a yi kamfe shi sa na tsaya nan gida muke ta addu'a yanzu an ce an daga ni ba na gani wannan so ba ku assignment ina so ba ku assignment din shi ne na farko mu ci gaba da musu addu'a na biyu idan da wanda suke magana da su gaya musu kar su ci gaba da wannan tsari nasu wanda in sun yi wuce rani Kwankwaso ya ce sai an zo an ce gara ma Ganduje duk da lalacewa Ganduje saboda haka har yanzu ba a yi ba har yanzu muna sa rai su samu hankali ya shiga jikinsu su gane nan ne inda ake son su gane cewar akwai hakkinmu a kansu ba abu mai ciwo da ya wuce wannan tsari na gwamnati da muka kafa a ce a ɗauke amshin da baki ɗaya a kai wa gidan Ganduje wannan abu ne wanda yake na ina ganin
all that they suffered and all of that. So the state is now handed over to Tinubu without casting a single vote. It's like a kick in the gut. So godfathers are now taking the heat. As much as the majority of them were like members of the establishment in this sense, right? Those who are in the PDP, they have their own kind of like their own destiny carved for them by this same Kolu and his own agents. So now to the smaller ones like Kano, Abbey, you know, the others like that, they just have to come and join APC because your 2027 election is going to be between, they're going to make it between the South versus the North. So in that sense, right, it's going to be like only those of you who joined, they will say, forget about party. Those of you who joined Tifnumbu in 2027 will be considered as patriots. And those who are in the opposition against Tifnumbu will be considered as unpatriotic ones. There'll be plastered names, enemies of Nigeria, enemy of the people, enemy of this and that, the blah, the blah. So they're framing it like that, like, you know. So Kwankwaso is just collecting his own. So now he is going to possibly end up in the coalition where he is going to have almost nothing to negotiate with. But yeah, to him, he said when he finally confirmed that indeed Abba Yusuf is going to the APC, instead of them to be preparing for 2027, right? Right now, they are not going to be together, right? He said it felt like dreaming, that it felt like a dream.
Saboda irin abubuwan da suke faruwa na mamaki, na al'ajabi, na ban haushi, wani abubuwan da suke faruwa a Kano wasu ma ba sa yarda. Ni ma ina ta ƙoƙarin ya kasance har yanzu bacci nake da farka gaba gaba ba haka take ba. Kuna da kai oga.
Yeah, he even said those who were asking him to come and join APC. This was like about a week ago when he was making all these, you know, declarations. So he said those who were asking him to come and join APC, why didn't they tell him to resign and leave their own mandate for them in ANPP? Kwankwaso.
Amma da yake Abuja bai sani ba. Ina ganin yan majalisar mu. Duk da su ake shan wahala ga wannan gwamnati. Wasu ma ta kan wannan wurin suka taka suka je can. Amma da yawa sun fitsare kafa su sun sha ruwan Abuja. Sun sha iska kulawa ta Abuja. Sun sake mota. Sun sake gida. Sun sake hada mata.
And the governor himself was kind of like caught on camera a few months back, you know, stylishly lamenting about the statements made by Kwankwaso in one of their gatherings, referring to him more or less like he's just a stooge. He didn't call him a stooge, right? He was like, he is the leader. He will determine what happens inside that government. A statement that Abba Yusuf considered as condescending, belittling. So, but anyway, he played along until this week.
Akwai lokaci da mai girma yake magana a hall yake cewa su ma za mu zuba musu ido idan sun nemi shawara za mu ba su ma in ba su nema ba to za mu koma gefe har Abuja na bishi nisran kai da ban ji daɗin wannan magana ba saboda mu idan akwai masoyanka masu maka biyayya ba 100 ba ku ƙara 200% mu ne masu wannan biyayya. Saboda haka muna gode muku, muna ƙara gode muku, kuma kamar yadda ya faɗa yin Allah yadda za mu yi aiki tare domin ci gaban Najeriya da ko kuma ci gaban Kano da Najeriya baki ɗaya. Na gode.
I mean, he's 200% in charge. It's nobody's to cheat. Yes, the little, interpretation I can give to you. But there are others who understands the Hausa very well. Read the comments. So in all of this back and forth, in the last 1 week or probably in the last a few months, this is 2026. Majority of them are now more or less interested in politics. Those who want to put in their own stooges to replace them when they finish their own 8 years. And those who want to go and do their own second term, everybody is now, building or setting the stage. It's not going to be about governance anymore. Sorry. But yeah, they can still keep pushing the propaganda, the lies, because all of that is going to become factors that they believe will determine what's going to happen before the end of the year. Kalu, we found him, is now in Abu Dhabi, in United Arab Emirates, UAE. We're going to come to that. But back in Kano, in what is believed, we've seen, I've seen videos, these short videos from different sources in Kano, printing different souvenirs, like a shirt, a branded shirt, branded this, branded that, banners and all of that with the face of Tifnumbu and Papa Yusuf, and boldly the logo of APC, Ebekebe. So this morning, the people of Kano Metropolis, especially around the government house, noticed the movement of a lot of security men, police, DSS and the rest of them, providing kind of like a, security, a special security provided all around the government house. It was captured on camera. I'll show you.
Kata amo pe kulena e ronza pinna ika komi ya budo to muje ku kudira ne ya tafiya zaki shi wuce yake da ma ya zo muna to muje kai muje mu tura musu Yes. Yeah. Go share it together. Akabai. No, ala mona go.
Sorry about that. So, people have been decamping, if you ask. If you have been following all over the place, we've had the Kano Governor left PDP to go and join Tifnumbu. You had the Plateau State Governor. You have the Taraba Governor. You have the Adamawa Governor. You have the Bayelsa Governor. Who else? Please remind me. all left without drama. Why is that of Kano different? Well, we are about to find out. For those of you who possibly can still remember, when the tribunal, governorship tribunal, ruled in favor of the ANPP, then the Court of Appeal ruled in favor of the APC. If you witness those periods, it got to a point where they had to actually move the court sitting, one of the court sittings for the governorship here, sort of litigation at the time. They had to move it away from Kano for the safety of the judges, because this Kano like politics is like how people support their football clubs, right? And I'm talking about something that is even more sort of like deeper than that. So they are willing to dive. There are many of them, and yeah. So maybe that is why they have to provide this much security, armored personnel carriers, APC, and all of that, simply because the governor is taking the mandate of the ANPP members in Kano to APC. So there are people who are asking that, how are they really going to really pull it off? I mean, if you believe that bringing all these opposition governors to go and join APC so that they can build or swell the rank of Tifnubu and this chance, I don't know how that's going to work, because like with the governors determine how people are going to actually really vote, I don't know, but this is just a rhetorical question, by the way. So in Rivers State, where another case of Godfather versus Godson has caused so much, bloodbath or something in between these supposed once upon a time political friends, agreement or no agreement. Last week, Fubara was served the impeachment notice because the State House of Assembly, they made 8 allegations of gross misconduct against the governor, which include financial misappropriation or financial impropriety, something. By it said is spending money without appropriation. That means without approval. It's denied them their own constitutional benefits and lots. Okay. But that seems to also kind of be changing, because according to them, they had 26 members who have signed the impeachment notice. So 2 of them, which ordinarily I can't really confirm if they are part of those who wanted Fubara impeached. One of them is addressed as a minority leader. Okay. So they have distanced themselves from Fubara's impeachment, and they are calling on their other colleagues to do the same and not plunge their state into chaos and many other things. Watch this.
Yeah, good afternoon, gentlemen of the press. My name is Honorable Sylvanus in Nwankwo. I represent Omoma State Constituency at the River State House of Assembly. And I'm also the minority leader of the 10th Assembly.
My name is Honorable Peter Abbey, JP, and I represent Decamp State Constituency in the House of Assembly.
Gentlemen, you are all aware that the River State House of Assembly issued a notice of impeachment on the governor of River State. So similarly, Fubara and the deputy governor of River State. But we have called this press conference to appeal to our fellow colleagues to tamper justice with mercy and to see how we can resolve this matter apart from the impeachment proceedings. That is why we are here this morning to appeal to the conscience of our fellow colleagues, having listened to so many pleas, calls from our elders and leaders, both within and outside the state, begging for leniency. We are begging, calling our colleagues to reconsider our step and see how this matter can be resolved amicably, even though the governor and the deputy governor has infringed on the constitution. But we are appealing on them to reconsider our stand. Thank you so much.
As the minority leader said, the governor, yes, he has infringed on parts of the constitution, but we are human beings, and we as people, as members of the 10th Assembly, we want to plead with our colleagues to please reconsider. This, we have received calls from leaders, from people in River State, outside River State, and we see that you don't raise the axe and swing it as you raise it. So we plead with our colleagues to reconsider, to please reconsider, provided the governor too has a role to play. He too must make sure he doesn't infringe furthermore on the constitution. So that will bring an amicable settlement to the whole thing. Thank you, and God bless you.
Nuisance, Lele.
I mean, they are lawmakers. The governor has breached the constitution. And violation of the constitution gives them the power to investigate him. But yeah, let's forget that. Even though he has breached the constitution, so let our leaders come together, because that's what will happen. The leaders will come together, and all of these problems, all of these dramas will suddenly change. About politics, here where they go like, oh, Nigeria politics, no mad gone. They'll pretend to be sworn enemies, and they mean it. They want to destroy themselves in the process. They'll destroy the people, destroy the country, destroy the economy in the process. They don't care. As long as they are supposed enemy. But these same enemies can suddenly turn around again and begin to speak good of themselves. In front of the same people, they told a lot about themselves. Who is this? Who is that? Oh, you know, all of that. People are there laughing. Really? Wow. This fight no go finish. Oh. And the same people will just switch overnight and say, everything is over and everything is fine. Forget everything we told you about ourselves and all those things we exposed. We are now friends for the progress of this, for the progress of our people. And that's it. It doesn't matter if constitution is violated. It's about interest. It's only when you are not fulfilling the interest of these others that the violation of the constitution will become very, very much like a serious crime. Once you're on their side, forget about constitution, Jerry. What constitution? There were others too. This one's called themselves APC, something like they also reject the impeachment of Fubara. Giving you this now because they are like going to be the foundation of a lot that is still going to happen. That you're going to wake up and just say, breaking news. Say, what? Breaking news, right? This was from Rivers as well.
Council for Sin outrightly rejects and condemned purported impeachment move against the governor of Rivers State. We think that the move is unconstitutional. The reasons they have adduced for the impeachment has no legal basis. Since the plank of the impeachment is on the budget, we all know that the governor had the budget transited to the National Assembly, which the fiscal life of that budget is still on. And outside of that, the Constitution allows for 6 months of grace into a new year. So on whatever permutations, we don't understand why impeachment has to be raised against the governor on the basis of the budget. So we think that is unconstitutional. And it amounts to play dangerous politics with the destiny of Rivers people. And we think that it's enough. We want to begin to think that this state belongs to all of us. Rivers State belongs to everybody. And as a group, we have resolved today that we will resist any attempt by the FCT minister and his group to continue to take Rivers State for a ride. The state belongs to everybody. We all have the right to our collective patrimony as Rivers people. And we feel that what is going on has continued long enough and continues to insult the sensibilities of Rivers people. We are not seeing in what they are doing any expression of the interest of the Rivers man.
So therefore, they will resist. The last time they attempted to impeach Fubara, when he suspected that they were planning to impeach him, suddenly there were explosions in the status of assembly. That status of assembly is still under construction. See what I'm talking about? The destruction that they sort of bring about whenever they are doing their power tussle, the expense of the people, including the people's lives, you know. So right now, the guys have formed a different place where they now use as the House of Assembly. I don't think the strategy of bombing them there is going to suffice again. But a lot of people are believing that Tinubu is going to still pull a lever that is going to calm the to calm the nerves of these guys. Now again, it is the build up. This is going to be the build up to what is still to come. In that same Rivers State, a group came together to give a press conference, and they are they claim to be the Labour Party members, as well as the Obidients movement in Rivers State. So they are going to be following their leader, Peter Obi, to go and join the ADC. So here, their reasons.
Obedient movement across the 23 LGAs in Rivers State to join our leader, His Excellency Peter Obi, in the African Democratic Congress. The deteriorating state of our economy, worsening insecurity, monumental drop in the standard of living for average citizens, total disregard for the constitutional provisions, and many other woes have made it evident that the time to coalesce to rescue this nation is now or never. We therefore re-echo the call already put out by our leader, His Excellency Peter Obi, and the National Coordinator of the Obedient Movement, Dr. Kwankwaso, for all obedients and believers in the vision that a new Nigeria is possible, to join the ADC and strengthen the coalition for a better Nigeria. Long live Rivers State, long live the African Democratic Congress, and long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Right. I've been trying to get what the slogan was, right? ADC arise, ADC arise, and then AD and C. Then you will say arise and shine. Oh dear. So we used to have the APC change. APC change. AP and C change. Now they don't say that anymore. When you say APC now, everybody will say renewed hope. APC renewed hope. Do you know that? And the anthem of the APC right now is on your mandate. They shall stand. How many of you still remember the old anthem that Tinubu changed Nigeria anthem to? Do you know that I've never actually really heard that in a long time? I know they probably are playing them at official occasions. I don't know. That's just some random thoughts that just like, hang on. I remember Tifnubu changed Nigerian national anthem, right? And then a lot of people were not interested. They started teaching children, but I don't know if the children can sing it right now. But maybe it's going to take a time. I mean, take a while. You know, you see, all these things are the reasons why you are going to remember. You're going to actually understand why they ended Nigeria's pledge with "So help me God." I'm going to tell you more about that. But let these guys finish. The Obidients in Rivers State collapsing their entire movement and what have you into the ADC, or the new Nigeria that is possible.
By implication, it means all Obidients, wherever they are part of the A, D, and C. The reason why we are pursuing this course is not far-fetched. We belong to a country with plenty, but little to feast on. We belong to a country where social amenities, healthcare should be a right, but then it is within the confines of a very few that have their powers in our common patrimony. And that is why we are standing with this man. He may not be a saint, but he is shining and leading amongst equals, political class, to be somebody that has the interest of the common man. The you, the me, the organizer, the market woman. So the charge here is all Obidients, wherever you are, go to the streets, go to the creeks, to the waters, galvanize all that you can. Every individual, every son, every daughter, every father, every mother, the way we did it in 2023, we are going to multiply that effect in ADC. Let me state clearly that the Obidient movement is a house for all. So coming into ADC that is receptive, warm, and loving, we are bringing a bigger house to a greater house. This party will be the vehicle that will drive us from the doldrum where we are to what conveniently we can say this is a nation that belongs to us. Yes. And we want to also appeal to press that try and extricate personal gains, pursue things, looking at posterity, looking at your children. That goes to all of us. The need for us to make this country better is resounding, and there cannot be a better time. Please, the charge goes to everybody. And I thank you for being here. Let us build a greater party. Let us stop these shenanigans and inanities and make Nigeria a very egalitarian society. Thank you very much. By implication,
you know something, right? Watching that, these thoughts was just like rolling in my head. Okay? And it was like, Papa, all those guys who are like the young people, the obedient and all that, right? If you should take out 26 years from their current ages, right? You realize that some of them will either be like teenagers or total toddlers. And then I'm like, some of the things the guy mentioned, like, okay, we need the social amenities, healthcare, and stuff, right? I'm like, those are the things that people who are now in their, let's say those who are now in their 50s and 60s. If you take 26 years away from their own ages too, right? So they will be like the adults. Somehow got either controlled, right, by the system to allow children to be fighting for the same thing 26 years later, even in democracy. It's kind of like crazy, though. It's kind of crazy. Because if you take out, for example, now, if you take out 26 years from my own age, then I'm going to be 16, I'll be a teenager. And here we are today, doing the same thing that those who are in their own 30s, right? When they were in, like those who are in their 30s, in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, who are in their 30s, 40s then. And then you see like 30 years later, 35 years later, children who are supposed to be discussing other developmental kind of like issues, ideas, and all that progressive stuff, they are stuck in the 50 years of backwardness. Because we are still here talking about we don't have road, we don't have light, we don't have water. When politician faces you, they are talking about ending poverty year in, year out, right? Government in, government out. They are all fighting the same thing. Poverty, because that's all they fight. You know what I mean? So it is possible that in the next maybe another 30 years, when many of us will be in our 70s, old, weak, they will be watching young people in their own, maybe in their own 20s and 30s, fighting for light, fighting for power, fighting for good roads, fighting for, you know what I mean? It's mental, man. It's not right. Generations have been destroyed, right? And there is more or less like seems so like no way out. If you're watching me right now, these are the kind of things you should possibly think about your life. Nigeria is they've made it so dangerous, right? That life has become so cheap that even your own money can't guarantee you anything. Your money can't save you, can't protect you, nothing. Everybody is a fair game, rich, poor. There are those who are not really seeing it that way. You can't build a society like that. I mean, if you come to think of it all, if you sit down and you start juggling the numbers, for example, 20 million out of school children, what are they doing right now? Where are they right now? 20 million out of school children. In fact, it's actually 22 million out of school children. It's a failure of government. All government that has ever ruled that country. All of them combined. But you, that you are still struggling to pay the school fees of your children, you are so saddled with that you're so busy trying to at least figure out your own life. And right now, you have no idea that there are 22 million children, school-age children, who are currently roaming the streets of Nigeria. You probably never really imagine it and say, where are they right now? What are they doing right now? Who are those who are now kind of exploiting these loopholes while the government continue to promise you end poverty, fight poverty and all that? So, I don't know. Random thoughts, a little digression. So let's go back on track. The Obidients who want a new Nigeria. Of course, if you have forgotten what they did in 2023, well, you probably will be doing so at your own peril. Because, yeah, call them what you want to call them. There are many of them who strongly believe in this Obi. But is that belief going to win the moment they, kind of like scheme him out? And he's not their presidential candidate. Would that support win? Would everything just evaporate? don't know. They asked this man, by the way, and he said, well, when it comes to the eastern part of Nigeria, they can put up all these face and all of this, but if Peter Obi should be the candidate of any major party or opposition, they shouldn't think about the eastern part of Nigeria to start with. And many other places where they have the Obidients, he said. Now watch this.
Thank you, Dr. Bati. I want to say that every politician has a reason for his action. I will not attempt to hold brief for any of our politicians in the Southeast who wishes to support the president for a re-election. We in the African Democratic Congress, we want to engage the current president of Nigeria and his party on issues, on their policies, on the efficacy of their execution of their policies and promises to the Nigerian people, and put this side by side with the candidates that we are supporting, former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, and the solutions he's putting on the table for Nigerians to make a choice. As you can see, the declaration of important politicians in the Southeast for the APC is not restricted to the Southeast. It's all over Nigeria. And many of us in this country are wondering what is the attraction for our governors in particular who are leaving their parties for the APC. We don't see the justification in the organization of the party APC. We don't see it in the performance of the central government, which is run by the APC. And people are wondering why we should be drifting to a one-party state, not based on ideology, not based on the performance of that party, but many cases, unexplained reasons, reasons that have not convinced the Nigerian people or even people in their various states why their governors have moved. But as I said, it is the inalienable right of the governors to move, whether what they tell us are the reasons for their moving or there are other compelling reasons why they moved. Until they say so, we cannot begin to take them up on those. But I can tell you something. In the Southeast, our people have learned to follow their conscience when it comes to voting in a general election. You will recall that in the immediate past election in 2023, Peter Obi single-handedly, blazing the trail like John the Baptist crying in the wilderness, was able to convince the Nigerian people that he had something that can change the status quo that we were enjoying under the presidency of Buhari at the time. And many Nigerians believe that at the end of the day, he convinced more Nigerians and scored more votes in that election, but he was not declared the winner. And we have, after the court processes, accepted the results as declared. But what I want to emphasize is that in the Southeast, we had sitting governors who could not deliver their states and who even contested the election to go to the Senate. And they could not win those elections because of the tsunami of the obedient movement in the Southeast at that time. Today, that tsunami is more likely to sweep more viciously for the simple fact that our people and people all over Nigeria are living in poverty. Okay. Poverty that is increasing in exponential proportion. They're living in hunger.
Okay, Your Excellency.
They're suffering massive unemployment.
Everybody is suffering. There's a reason to save Nigeria, protect the people and bring about difference. But the thing is this, like many are currently observing too, what strategy would actually dislodge Tifnumbu? This is a question that ordinarily shouldn't be asked. If indeed majority have agreed that Tifnumbu has failed, APC has disappointed and failed, all right? And they should be punished at the polls, all right? So where the election is indeed free, fair, and straightforward. But that is missing. So therefore, the combination of forces, what they are currently planning to do, according to them, is that they are doing combination of forces, the good, the bad, the ugly, forcing them together, and become strong enough to challenge the purported planned rigging of 2027 by Tifnumbu using the state governors. And that's quite very simple. I'll tell you how. So those of you who might be a little bit unsettled when some people begin to put sort of like a stats together on why they believe that with the way Nigeria is, there is no chance of removing Tifnumbu through the ballot box. There is no chance. And the reason is quite simple. With this Tifnumbu having the control of the INEC, the control of the military, the control of the judiciary, and presently, as he's kind of like building it, the control of more than 80% of the states in Nigeria. So how is it going to happen? Because every state in this regard, with the way they have done it, right, will have their own tallies of what their target should be and how much money will be spent. So when it comes to money, they have the control of the central bank as well. Again, if there was a free, fair process of election, people will still be the ones to decide. Abbey? But it's never going to be free and fair. It's going to be rigging left, right, and center. All of them will rig. And then the best rigger in this regard will probably be declared winner. And in this sense, it is going to be Tifnumbu. Or if they make Peter Obi their candidate, right? What chance does that give them, all the people and all of that? So they are now saying that how ADC manage their, their supposed winnings, especially for having Obi and Obidients in their midst, the old guards and partially the new guards. So the way they manage it will determine if Tifnumbu's plan is going to be broken or not. But as it stands right now, there's still no chance of dislodging Tifnumbu. But maybe it is too early or still very much early, right? So let's go back to the east, where the likes of Emeka Ihedioha, former Imo governor, removed for Opuzodingba right now. So they have they have their own ADC gathering. So I want to add it to that. So watch this.
These in the state came and told me that they have joined the ADC. And they promised to come and make bold and be clear about it. I invited them to this stakeholders meeting. I will invite them one by one. First is the chairman of the Labour Party in Imo State, Chief Innocent What David. ADC, APC, APC. So today, by the special grace of God, The Labour Party people in Imo State, they have joined ADC. Those remaining in Labour Party now are decorated most of past criminals being sponsored by the government in power. The second group that came to me was leadership of the Obidients movement. But today, they have all gone to Enugu as a collective of the Southeast Zone. So I'm sure they will come back. They saw the state chairman and told him same. But I'm sure they will come back and make their own announcements by themselves publicly. A zonal woman leader of the People's Democratic Party in the Southeast, Chief Mrs. Ifeyinwa Arodiobu.
I was the zonal woman, Southeast zonal woman leader, PDP. His Excellency called me and said, you have to come back where you belong. I said, with due respect, sir, I will be there. After numerous consultations, I said, today, there is no going back. That I am with ADC, now through thick and thin. ADC, ADC, come on. ADC, ADC, come on. Obajana one ya, Obajana one ya, come on. Omana gaga, dano nibeya, kaigawa gawa.
Chief Mrs. Ngozi Njoku, former commissioner.
People and for as people, and even our sons and daughters in diaspora. God bless all of us, and I believe we will make it happen.
God bless you. God bless you. Thank you. You're welcome. Ekele Kudo. I want to invite another heavyweight who only this morning joined the African Democratic Congress in Iheme Ward in Idato North. May I invite Chief Paul Mbadiwe, the second son of the late K.O. Mbadiwe, to formally announce his defection to the ADC today.
ADC, ADC, AD and C. I am here today out of personal conviction and following my own ideology. I am here on the plank which stands on the foundation of equity, justice, and fairness. I also stand here today as somebody who believes that it is important to keep the fabric of this nation intact. And I also believe that the leaders of this party who are present here are those who have a listening ear and who care about the people. That is my main concern for joining this party. I want to be close to those that I can speak to and say, my people are suffering, my people require this or that, and they will listen. I know the importance of listening. I once listened to the governor, and I am here to say that I will do all that is necessary and put in time, effort, and hard work to see the success of this party. Thank you very much.
ADC. There is something I'm also going to call your attention to. They said if you don't participate in politics, your inferiors will participate, and then they will form government. That whether you like it or not, you must obey every law they push towards you. It's crazy, yeah? Somebody In fact, a friend was having a chat with me, and then we were like talking about Nigeria generally. And then it was like, at the point, you know, we're talking about the potentials, things that could be done, a lot of, you know, beautiful things that could be done by so many of us who would use or take the advantage of our exposures and the rest of that to develop our little communities or something in Nigeria. You know, beautiful ideas about you could have a farm, you could have this. Then you got to that point, you're like, some of the problems that people are facing generally, they are man-made. And the reason why they sort of like a fester is because those who are in government, right, they are the most inferior people that should ever, by any reason, in a noble country, have access to government in that massive number that they have actually captured the country, every part of it. Do you get me now? Like, Nigerians are like smart, you know, we used to say that Nigerians are smart, Nigerians are doing great all over the world. I mean, little opportunities, Nigerians will build this, that. So why are Nigerians actually succeeding outside Nigeria than they are succeeding inside Nigeria in this sense? A lot of things were listed, or it could be the aim is because of this bad governance, bad leadership, or bad leadership. So how come the good ones are not participating in politics? I mean, I am let's say for example, I am a multimillionaire who is running a legit business. And I understand the importance of politics. I understand the importance of having the right people in the position of authority who are going to be writing policies that will affect my business, my life. So in that sense, you want people who have, you know, the kind of vision and the rest of that, smart guys, to be in your politics. Of course, you're going to have crooks too, who are going to also manage to sneak in. But good guys with good ideas, you know, innovative ideas, young, beautiful ideas that could actually move country forward. But no, the system is built in a way that is a very tough one. In fact, if you want to have access to power in Nigeria at any level, there's some certain level of cunningness that you have to sort of like imbibe. You probably have to start sounding stupid or begin to support stupid ideas that you know will hurt the people. Or which people? The ones who want to put you in power, or the people that you are supposed to serve when you are in power? So you have to choose. Then you become like dumb that you listen to some of them. Sometimes you'll be like, how is this one a governor? How can this one even be a minister? Have you ever felt like that? Because I have. When you listen to some of them, so I'm munching cookies here. So in case if you see crumbs, sorry about that. Have you ever thought about that? Like, how did this one even become a minister? How can they say this? Because when you begin to look at the process, they eventually produced all these guys. This is the system. They have fenced out people with good ideas. And others just join in the entire bandwagon. They just join the bandwagon, the bazaar. Let us loot the country until everybody will get their senses back. Maybe if they ever. You know, it's crazy. And yeah, like I said, we are seated here. We are pointing fingers, doing all of that. And we are watching them build their supposed political platforms. Different characters. You and I won't be part of that. Oh, it's a very big system. It's a this or that, which is fair, all right? But the people that are meant to actually make the system fair enough for everybody to actually participate fairly, all right, where money and all these things won't determine, and all these riggings won't actually determine the winners of elections, right? So we expect people, these different kind of people, all right, who are going to eventually take advantage, and somehow they may get to power. And once they are in power, they will begin to wonder some of the decisions they'll be making. You're like, why would that one even do that? What kind of a country is this like we are dealing with right now? It's crazy, yeah? Because you're going to ask me then, what should we do? No. not a one Nigerianist. So my own idea of what should be done is likely not going to sit well with you. So that is why I am probably making it more clearer to you why doing the same thing again and again in this sense, right, is, and then expecting a different result. Okay, doing something again and again, same thing again and again, then expect a different result is actually a sign of insanity. So if you want to try something different, my own idea, let us break up the country. Yeah, then we'll decide the type of government we want, the process of actually putting together that kind of government, right? Maybe for the first time, we can actually write a constitution that you can say, this is the people's constitution. Let us do a referendum. You see, my solution cannot sit well with you because my solution is like an illusion to some of you, like, oh, Benny, you are deluded, Jared. Nigeria can never break up. I don't have any power to break Nigeria. And I've told you this many times. It is not because I want Nigeria to break peacefully or because you don't want Nigeria to break because you want Nigeria to remain great and all of that. You see, these two kind of wishes, they are not what will determine whether Nigeria will break or it will not break. It is the actions of these guys, the actions, the inactions, that will then tilt everybody to the point where you say, this is not working. You know what? I think it is time now for everybody to just try something different. If Nigeria is going to actually remain together for the next 65 years, like the past 65 years, it will be decided by your action, my action, their action, all our actions and inactions, like we are currently like tilting towards it. So we determine it. And they are doing a great job. If you ask me, they are doing a great job right now. In chaos, in division, APC wields power. Do you understand that? Yeah. People were supposed to be united, you know, in their own supposed cause, like everybody's suffering the same thing. But no, they are so divided on other stupid things, unfortunately. So in that division, APC wields power. Let's go to Edo State. I'll show you something. The last 2-3 years, they have been like the hell for the people of Edo State when it comes to this insecurity. And I promise you, the insecurity in Edo State is actually underreported to start with. I mean, the kidnappings that we report happening all over Nigeria, especially in the northwest, the northeast, and of course the north-central, the middle belt part of Nigeria. Yeah, from Plateau State to Benue State to Taraba State to Kogi State. Then you round it up, then you go straight to Borno State, and you start coming to Katsina State, Sokoto State, Niger State. It's all this whole territory. We have reported countless numbers of kidnappings, but in Edo State, it is not only just the Fulani terrorists that are kidnapping people. There are other criminals who have made it like a job. They will kidnap people and they will start demanding for tens, and in fact, hundreds of millions of naira as ransom. This has eaten so deep, right? That this is not even about you traveling between interstate travel. So it's because we're traveling to, that was when we got kidnapped. People get kidnapped in their own homes in Edo State. Yeah. Students who have suffered greatly this level of insecurity themselves took to the streets. They protested, they called it anti-kidnapping protest. That is the Ambrose Ali University students, AAU students. Do you know what happened next? The government, right? Okwebolu and possibly his other collaborators, they went to the hostels of these girls and these students, arrested 51 of them, and today they presented them before a judge. They protested that government should do something about the kidnappings in those states. Let me show you one. This one happened in Ekboma just yesterday evening, 6 p.m., around 6 p.m. Nigerian time. Now, inside your household, you're not traveling to anywhere. You are probably like maintaining your yeah? So they were taken. That's the driver. So the student protested about 2-3 days ago that they wanted the government to do something, stop the kidnappings, protect us, provide security. Now, they mobilized their police, their military, rounded them up, and I don't know what they charged them for. They put them, all of them, before a judge today. And the judge approved that they should be remanded in prison for the next 14 days. That is democracy that APC preaches.
They have just brought the student to court, probably to get to remand them. These AU students brought to the court.
They went to boss them inside their house. Inside their house as early as 4 a.m. 4 a.m. like they are thieves.
Students.
You use your phone video.
Students. They just brought them to court.
Hello?
Yes, load them like sardine in the vehicles, in the truck. Just brought them to court. They just brought them to court. What are the family members of students who were arrested? Family members, those who were arrested. Okay.
They protested against kidnappings. They are tired of paying ransom. They wanted government to do something. And of course, they have been arrested. And they are going to charge them for terrorism, because that's most of what they will charge them for, to scare others. You cannot make Tinubu look bad. The president is doing his best. The president has done his best. He has provided everything for everybody. Edo State is getting more money now. And the president is doing one road there. And all that stuff, right? Forget about this insecurity thing. We are working on it. We have started the vigilante. The vigilante people have given them money, have given them cars. So if people are still kidnapping you, doesn't mean that you have to go outside and be telling the world. That's how they behave. So therefore, you automatically become a villain. Yeah. You are now the one who wants to make the Mr. President look bad at me. If we don't send some of you to prison, other people should think they too can come out and protest and say they are killing us or kidnapping us, or government do something. And it was supposed to be a democracy, right? That's not a democracy. No, some people call it a kakistocracy, abinko. Kakistocracy. Maybe it's just demonstration of grace, an illusion of democracy, as they want you to believe. You can't complain. You can't vote them out. How is that a fair deal? Like, have you ever thought about that? Like, oh, that's not even fair now. They struggled to take power. They killed where they had to kill people to take power. They bribed. They did everything to take power. Now they have the power just to do that simple job of, what is the purpose of power that can't actually protect the vulnerables in the society? Then you still want to keep that power despite these monumental failures, killings. I don't understand. And I don't think these students possibly also understands anyway. Yeah.
Look at the innocent students! We are students! Come back to airport! Come back to airport! Oh, Jesus!
My own person here.
No, this is not fair! 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 No! Why am I treating us? Why am I treating Why am I treating us? No! Why am I treating us? We did not do anything! We did not do anything!
The great youth of Nigeria.
Great!
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 Greatest, yo. The great youth of Nigeria.
Great!
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 Greatest, yo.
You. The greatest people of Nigeria. Greatest, you. Back in the days when you had the NANS, yeah, the National Association of Nigerian Students, that incident could trigger a nationwide reaction of the old NANS. Some of those old NANS now, they are grandpas. Can you believe that? Yeah. Those ones who are now like old men, you know, the reminiscences on these old times, and they just be like, what kind of students are now being enrolled in Nigeria universities? What kind of students are now in the supposed SUGs, the student union governments in Nigeria institutions? What happened to the national body of the Nigerian student, this, and that? Man, what happened? And they'll start telling you about the old times of this person, that person, his era, facing the military, they faced this, they faced all that. But this is democracy. The democracy you fought for, you know, in your youth. I'm talking to those of you who participated in the old Aluta days, right? And you're now looking at the kind of students you have now, all crying, like, all crying. Bad. So yeah, you can't protest in Nigeria because they don't want you to make the government look bad. It's not good this time around for you to go out and tell them you are hungry. Tell them that the terrorists are, come on, this is not the right time, maybe another time. Ish. While at the same time, they're actually putting it right into your faces that they have done so excellently well. We've done so great. Simply because you don't like us. That's why you can't feel what we have done. Even if you can't see what we have done, can't you feel it? You're like, feel what? Which one of them? So you are not patriotic. We are still going to get to that battle where everybody who doesn't kind of jump into the bandwagon of Tinubu for second term, it's going to be, now Muslim, you did talk about the last time. This time it's going to be like, one, the Ronokus are going to double down or triple down on self. The issue of their tribalism. So if you are not supporting Tinubu, you hate Yorubas. Ronokus are going to tell you that. And especially if you are not supporting Tinubu and you're also an Igbo man or from the eastern Nigeria, it doesn't even matter. The moment you are from anything after Ore, all of them are be Igbos to the Ronokus. So Ronokus are going to tag you this time around like, you hate Yorubas. They are going to build on that. You're going to see raw one. Then, Tinubu and his gang are also going to leverage on, this is South versus the North. You're going to come back here and tell me. However, it seemed from what they have shared with us, so this is like an amateur video made by one of the supposed participants. Something happened at Obajana. There's a place called Obajana in Kogi State. It's a vast land. From, if you check it from the satellite or from the map, it's quite a vast land in Kogi, the northwest central of Nigeria. So there was an operation, conducted by a joint operation conducted by the military as well as the police in clamping down and destroying the camps of the bandits, they call them, or Fulani terrorists. So they uploaded a video, and I think you should see it and be the judge, because I haven't really seen casualty, but I have seen the evidence of this area bombardment, bombings and all of that, burning bushes and all that. Amateur video, remember?
This is nice plant too. Hey, nice plant too. Nice plant too. Nice plant without thing. I did video, but nice plant that thing do. Eh? Nice plant that thing do. Listen.
So you saw the destroyed camps of the terrorists, right? So they haven't given us the ground report. Or you see those people you saw on ground, right? They are like the guys on ground, while the others are just providing area surveillance. Good stuff. The kind of content we want to be seeing from them, and a consistent one, because you need consistency. All right, not that you are going to, I mean, America dropped the Christmas Day gift for the Lakurawas in Sokoto, remember? And since then, I haven't really sort of like heard any reports of the Lakurawas or other ASWAP guys perpetrating anything in Sokoto. In fact, it was reported that a lot of them were killed and others, you know, actually moved across the border straight to Niger Republic, into the Sahel. So maybe they are regrouping. They don't know. We also don't know what the American surveillance have on them. I mean, stuff like this are things that Nigeria can handle if they have the political will, right? So that was in Kogi, and I hope it bears the good fruit in this sense. So let's go to Lagos. In their latest spending, by the way, they are trying to provide a CCTV service on Third Mainland Bridge in Lagos. And Devolumayi, who launched that yesterday, said it's going to cost 40 billion naira to set up a control room, as well as the CCTV cameras or speed cameras, I don't know, like security cameras. They must be CCTV. 40 billion naira. Then they put up this image. Let me show you one image, which is like, oh, this is going to be the control room. You know, where is it? Yeah, here. So this is going to be the control room that is going to be monitoring the Third Mainland Bridge. So the effort is to help quick response in terms of emergency. For example, an accident, or you have been attacked, or you have a breakdown. So they can easily provide a very quick security for you. 40 billion naira, Baba. You know,
and so what we're going to be doing is that in our inspections, you know, every of the road that has been completed, or agree we have completed our roads in sectors, will be commissioning, leaving the big ones for the president, you know, when he will be going around the country.
Giving the infrastructure to rule the water. And so the president directed not just in Lagos but all over the country, because when a bridge is cut into two, there will be no movement. And so
40 billion naira. That's a lot of money. I know somebody here that can set that up for probably 10% of that, and it will still make a lot of money. Yeah, 4 billion naira. My friend here, who has a farm in Nigeria, he's not been to Nigeria now for a while. So he decided to kind of like develop his land and make it a small mini farm, right? And all of us can sit together and watch everything going on in that on the farm from here in Glasgow. And I bet a lot of people kind of like have the same arrangement. Some have their properties that they have installed, all this mobile. They are all cheap stuff, right? Technology, you get what I mean? Then you want all these screens to set up a place and call it a station that somebody will be monitoring. Of course, not 40 billion naira. But we all know why. So they said they are going to do the same on all the roads that Ifnumbu is constructing, including the Lagos-Calabar Expressway. I just hope that they will put some on Akowonjo. In Akowonjo, what's that place called again? Those areas. where Tokumbo was very busy 2 nights ago.
Excuse me, sir.
Come va di bado è bulla Maria. No, pa.
Right, but did you notice something in that video? I did. They had light. There was electricity. I mean, there was light during that operation. So that it makes the whole place looks a little bit more lively, except for that look. So they were removing illegal structures. That's what they called it. Illegal structures. Cleaning Lagos. It just never ends. Right? Now, meanwhile, on the side, the NDLEA, again, shared their latest bust. This time, where drugs were hidden inside. I'll show you.
Okay, so can you open it? So do we still have anything inside the second manicure? What is inside? Same what? Okay. Okay, now that we've identified the substance to be tramadol capsule and tablet, we are going to weigh the exhibit. Okay, the exhibit has been weighed and it weighed 5.3 kilograms. And you witnessed all the process, right? Mr. Oyebuchi, did you witness all the process? Pardon?
Oyebuchi Yawerigon. Mr. Oyebuchi, even if two women had to carry two pregnancies, I don't think they can carry that heavy, massive stuff the way these two dolls, these two mannequins were stuffed. I just thought you should see that. And yeah, that is why I'm going to also show you this next one. Tifnumbu. Yesterday, we were a bit curious, asking Omo, it's been over 2 weeks that Tifnumbu left Nigeria. Like, what's going on? He's been stuck in France for over 2 weeks. He spent his new year there. Like, what's going on? So while we were at it, Kolu was airborne. He was actually landing in Abu Dhabi, UAE, where they are to go and discuss about Google. Don't ask me about the rest, but you know, Kolu is there anyway. And every time you see Kolu and you see somebody standing behind him carrying a bag, you may think it is a nuclear button, like the American government. You know, we believe the American government and some other world power like that. When you see people walking behind them carrying briefcase, they are carrying the nuclear code, being a nuclear button. But the man that is carrying bag behind the Kolu, inside the bag, now both the inside out. You may be say they want to come and talk about climate change. You may be that one. Once they open the bag, there is no button if nobody is pressing. Yeah? Now this Bambi a labo. Because when the camera is off, he's going to beg them for money. Loan. I was there anyway. His arrival yesterday.
Welcome to you. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. As your family time.
Yes, sir.
It's actually a beautiful country, though. Yeah. And if I have money, I'll probably love to go to Dubai this year. Oh, mind. You know, that's on that solo travel. Just me and my small bag. But yeah, Kolo is there right now. I mean, enjoying the company of his supposed praise singers, you know, those ones behind him. And of course, the other arrangement they probably have put in place, including meeting Nigerians in UAE to further boost the photo hub. And I hope he returns back to Nigeria, okay? Because right now, their politics is just about to become even messier. You don't want to miss that, do you? Anyway, thank you so much, everyone, for your time. I am going to take an early break tonight. But I'm going to see you another time, okay? So thank you so much for your time this evening. And hope you enjoy the rest of the evening. But don't forget, like the broadcast if you haven't done that already. And share it. Join me next time on Mayegun's Diary Political. Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Mayegun Diary Diary Political. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Mayegun number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ìpẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. kí gómìnà kówó jẹ ayé ìṣúra ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá ayé ìṣúra aṣòfin tí ń rúfin òwò ayé ìṣúra òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú ayé ìṣúra ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì ayé ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o àyè.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀gọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ́lú ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràgì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.